Welcome to Harry's Hook. I am a journalist, big fan of boxing. I've written published articles on it. I also train and spar. In my pre-fight video, I picked Artur Beterbiev to defeat Dmitry Bivol via late stoppage. But by the end of the night, I thought Dmitry Bivol had done enough to earn the decision. Yet it... One sec, giving my dad a call for his birthday. It's literally midnight right now. Happy birthday, big guy. I'll give you a call later on to check in on your birthday, make sure Liz isn't causing trouble. Not tonight, no. Yet it was Beterbiev's hand that was raised. Some cried foul, others cried robbery. Bivol's team is apparently filing a protest. Yet another historic night of boxing, elite boxing, was kind of depressed by outcry over the scorecards. A 114, 114, 115, 113, 116, 112 majority decision for Beterbiev. But I've rewatched the fight a couple times now, and I can see why Beterbiev got the decision. In today's video, we're going to analyze the night's Compubox stats and some other factors from the fight, and discuss why, upon reflection, I can argue this win for either boxer. Let's start with the numbers, specifically the Compubox punch stats. Overall, Bivol landed 5 more punches, and yet Beterbiev threw 259 more. So higher activity from Beterbiev, who landed 20% of his punches, and more accuracy from Bivol, who landed 33.6%. However, if we break it down by rounds, Beterbiev landed more total punches in 6 of the rounds, while Bivol landed more total punches in 5 of the rounds. And the two of them were even on punches landed in round 6. So that favors Beterbiev. But overall, Bivol landed 50% of his power punches. Beterbiev only landed about 29%. And Jim Lampley always used to say how pretty much any time a boxer lands about 50% of their power punches, they're going to win the fight. That favors Bivol. But the numbers also tell a tale of two halves. Over the first 6 rounds of the fight, Bivol landed 33 power punches, while Beterbiev, over that same span, landed 23. Yet over the last 6 rounds, Beterbiev landed 67 power punches to Bivol's 51. But then you might fairly ask, well, Harry, how are those punches spread out? Because championship boxing, it's essentially 12 mini-fights, right? You can wreck an opponent in one round, but then if you lose several after that, you're going to be down on the cards. However, Beterbiev and Bivol were separated by 2 or less landed power punches in 6 of the rounds, right? Rounds with a difference of 3 or more landed power punches. Beterbiev had 3 of those, Bivol had 3 of those. Now, if we're talking overall landed punches, the two boxers were separated by 4 or fewer landed punches in 8 of the 12 rounds. So by Compubox stats, this fight was very competitive. But numbers aren't everything. By the way, if you want to see my technical analysis where I'm breaking down footage and analyzing sequences, you'll need to check out my What We Learned video. And if you're enjoying this content, do me a solid, like the video, it really helps, subscribe to the channel to stay updated on my latest analysis and commentary. I appreciate your support. I've watched this fight a few times now. It's clear to me that Bivol landed a good deal more clean shots and exhibited better defensive skills. However, Beterbiev blows that are partially blocked or even fully blocked still do legitimate damage. And it seemed like Bivol was more bothered and had more damage inflicted on him over the course of the night. But he also did a good job at mitigating most of Beterbiev's rallies. Yet, still, I think the majority of people would take 2 punches from Bivol over 1 punch from Beterbiev. I do want to make this point though. Many analysts have talked about how Beterbiev was the aggressor through the night, and he got extra points for that. Bivol was on the back foot, yada yada. But I don't fully agree with that. I think it's an oversimplification. Yes, Bivol was on the back foot and on the perimeter more than Beterbiev. But he was also attacking in staccato bursts, counterpunching, and he even pressed Beterbiev back at times. He wasn't running away, he was boxing. To me, it looked like Bivol stymied Beterbiev for much of the night through his constant movement and quick hands. But, Beterbiev did tend to come on late in rounds and finish strong in the championship ones. So was this a robbery, as some contend? I think many of us can agree that 116-112 score is, fishy. But, at the end of the day, this was no robbery. Okay? I thought that Bivol had done enough when I initially watched the fight, and I still think that he reached closer to his apex performance, but upon rewatching the fight, I think that you can definitely make a real case that Beterbiev edged it. In that sense, it depends on what you look for as a judge, right? Judging based off of damage, that's a legitimate perspective. And in that respect, I thought Beterbiev inflicted more damage over the course of the night thanks to his ridiculously heavy hands. Now there's other areas where I thought Bivol did better. Really what this all speaks to is the subjectivity of boxing and perhaps the larger issue of needing a more clear objective criteria from which to judge. But that's a discussion for another day. Foster versus Conceição. That, my friends, was a robbery. This was a competitive affair. Some rounds had clear winners. There were a few swing rounds. Activity, aggression, damage favored Beterbiev. Clean punching, accuracy, defense favored Bivol. At the end of the day, if you want to settle the score, so to speak, bring on the rematch. And that right there is Harry's Hook. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was it a robbery? Was it fair? Be sure to check out my What We Learned analysis video on this fight. Hopefully it's up at this point.